Okay, now I'll do these just to show you how they work, and there's a lot of different ways to do these, but I'm just going to show you one way to do it. So I'll start my line command here. I'm going to go just a straight line here, and it goes straight down. Nothing fancy about this here. So just go straight up there, straight down, and I'm going to go here, and we stop it right here. Boom. We can do the same thing and go over from this side to this side, and we got that. Okay, now the next thing I'd want to do is once I've done that, I have these two different lines. Now what I can do is I could rotate those, and then they'll give me the other 45-degree lines that if you take a look at that we need two, because we need both. So I'm just going to go ahead and rotate this, make it easy. And I want to go to the rotate command. It asks me, what do you want to rotate? Well, it's going to be these two lines, this one and this one. I click on those, and now I'm in the AutoCAD stare down. It wants to know, what do you want to do now? Well, I have to tell it to go to the next prompt. So again, I right-click my mouse. I hit my Enter key or hit my space bar to get the next prompt. And the next prompt is specify a base point. Well, it's going to be right here because I want them to rotate around the center. So I grab that point, and then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and type in 45. When I type in 45 degrees, it goes ahead and gives me that. So now I got that those 45-degree items there. And then I can just go ahead and draw these lines that I'd started with. And I'm going to go down here and just go ahead and draw those. And that will complete my those green guidelines, at least for that much. Okay, so we got that. So now we're looking good, looking real good here. And now we just have, it gets a little complicated, but it's really not that hard. There's some stuff in here that you want to be aware of, but you just want, it's basically all offsets because all the distances are given to you. So now you can see that your horizontal line in the center has to be offset down 0.5 and up 0.5. And the vertical line has to be offset 0.5 and over 0.5. And then there is a square. And the square, if you look at the very left dimension, it says it's 3 units. 3 units, the square is 3 units long, and that means it's 3 units wide. So we've got to put those lines in. So let's do that. And we're just going to use an offset command. So we'll start the offset command, which is here. And our first offset, we're going to use 0.5. And we're going to just go ahead and offset this here and here. And you can see how this is working. And again, there's more than one way to do this. I'm just showing you one way. And then there's, what we're going to do is we're going to fillet those. Okay, we're going to fillet those lines so we get the nice smooth radii. And if we take a look at the drawing, you can see that the fillet is actually, the diameter of the fillet is 1. And a diameter is 1. And a radius is going to be half that. So that means those are a radius of 0.5. So let's start our fillet command with a radius of 0.5. So we start the fillet command, and we go to radius, and we're going to choose 0.5. You know, once we do that, I can go ahead and click it here, and click it here, and we'll look at that. Boom, a very respectable filleted angle. And we'll do it on the opposite side. We're going to have to mirror this just because it erases the original stuff, and that's normal. That's going to happen. You know, it's typical stuff. And then we're going to go ahead and mirror that. So I'm going to go ahead and mirror this line, and this line, and this line. And I'm going to go ahead and right-click, and my mirror point's going to be here. I'm going to go here, and you can see it's putting it there, which is what I want. Do I want to erase my source objects? No. I want to keep them. And I repeat it here. I'm going to repeat it for this object right here. So go to here, and here, and here. I right-click, and I pick here, and I'm going to go ahead and mirror that down there. And so we're good to go. So now I've created that, and I've got pretty much everything I need except for the square, which again, since I'm offsetting them, I want them to be a total of 3 inches apart from each other. I got to offset it from the center 1.5. So I'm going to start my offset again, and I'm going to make it 1.5, and then I'm going to go ahead and offset this there, and this there, and this there, and this there. Okay, so now you're starting to see how this could work. And now what I could do is I could start to trim this out. But for right now, we're going to leave that. We'll trim them out later. And now we have the locations for our circles. So I'm going to start with my little circles. My little circles are all in there. And they have a diameter of 0.25, which means it'll be a radius of 0.125. So I change my layer to holes. I'm going to start with circle and go to diameter. I'm going to start my first location that I know for sure, which is going to be right here. Why not? And I'll type in 0.125, boom, like that. So I got my first circle right there, and actually that's too small. Let me do that again. So I'm going to circle, and I'm going to set a diameter, and I'm going to go ahead and put this right there. I'm going to type in 0.25. There we go, that's better. And so now I've got that. Now I can just copy that around. And so to copy an object, I click copy. I go ahead and click on the item. And then I got to consult my drawing and copy this to the proper locations. And I think you guys are getting the idea here. And let's go ahead and doing this. I'm going to turn off the ortho because it's not helping me right now. And I'm going to continue on copying these around. Boom, boom, a little more ease there. And we got that. And we got those in place. And then I got a couple, like I actually want to have these actually center right here. So what I'm doing is I'm touching this here and picking up that tracking point. And when it does, I can put it there. I can do this same here and pick up this tracking point. And that's using object snap tracking. I'm just touching it here and pulling it over. And it actually finds that point. So I touch it here, and then when it intersects there, we're good to go. And all my little circles there. Now that's object snap tracking, and you're going to need to practice for that because you don't actually click until you have it over the location, but it gives you automatic tracking. Last thing are the circles around the edge, the larger circles, the holes, and those have a diameter of 0.5, so we'll put those in, and this will be the last thing, and then we'll just do a little bit of trimming. So center diameter, and diameter is going to be, well, first of all, let's pick a location. So one location is right out here, so we'll pick this right there, and we'll type in 0.5 as diameter, and boom. And then we're going to go ahead and copy that. Recent input, go ahead and copy. I'm going to copy that around my location here as I need to, and I'm just going to go ahead and go right around there. Boom, boom. And it's going to be a total of, I think, what, 8? I think so. So I'm just going to be careful to make sure I get this right in those locations. And you can see just how helpful your object snap is here, because it helps you to find these locations that would be, you know, be really kind of difficult because of the drawing being so busy. And so we're going to go ahead and drop that there. And once we've done that, that's all done. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to trim out the lines. So we're going to start the trim command. I'm going to trim the command. Now what I want to do is I want to use each of these outside lines that make up the square as my trimming, as my cutting edges. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to get rid of this and this. Let's clean it up. And then once I've done that, I just have to put in my dimensions. So we go through there, and we are looking good, looking very good. And we are just about complete there. And that's it. And once I got that, I have a complete drawing. That is the hub, okay? And we used a few different commands there, but you get the idea. Last thing we're going to do is I'm going to throw in a couple dimensions here. You guys will do all of them, but I'm just going to do 1 or 2. And when you're working with dimensions, you have a lot of choices here. You can use diameter. There's quite a few diameter dimensions here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one diameter and show you how this would work. I could go ahead and grab this object like right here and click it and pull it over. And you'll notice that it automatically supplies the diameter symbol. It does that automatically. That's what the diameter does. Now, over here, for the donut, you have to use what's called a leader. Now, the leader is right here, and a leader is essentially a arrow with a note. So I click on the leader, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick the donut. I want to tell it, okay, Mr. Donut, I like, oh, it went too far, but that's okay. I'll go here. I'm going to type in the text, which is DONUT space ID, which is inside diameter, equals 5.75. So I'm not actually measuring it. I'm actually just typing in the values, which are here. And that's actually how you would go about doing this with what is known as our leader command. So I got that, and I have to go ahead and move that to someplace else. So go ahead and just for right now, just drag it right to there. What the heck? There we are. All right, so I got my donut. So my donut is called out with a leader. And you would do the same thing for your polyline. So I'll go to here and do another one. And my polyline is this object. Any one of these objects right here. I'll click it there. I'm going to click it. I'm going to say P-line, P-L-I-N-E, 0.05 width, 0.05 W-I-D-T-H. And we click, and that is good. And that is how you'll basically be putting those in. So that is how we will make that work. So that is the drawing I, otherwise known as the hub drawing, put together, and it looks great. So anyway, that is the Brennan method. That is how we do drawing I. That is the hub. So you can go ahead and rerun this as many times as you need to understand it, but that's the drawing, and I'm going to save it. And that's it. So anyway, that should help out. Thanks for your time.